Hello and welcome back to the Quirky Cast. I'm Indiana.
And I am Teddie.
And we had such a fun episode last week sharing all of our hot takes.
I thought that was so much fun. And I think that we need to do more submission podcasts.
Yes, I do feel like a lot of people had so much fun at writing in their submissions and hearing us talk about it.
I know. I thought that we had more. I mean, I guess we had some pretty similar ideas, but like, I just keep on thinking about that orange candy one. The orange flavor. I love anything orange, and I can't believe that people think that it's gross.
Yeah, I posted one of our clips on our TikTok today, and I saw some love for grape flavor on the comments.
Really?
So I was like, ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think cherry is just like the absolute worst, but
cherry is my favorite. So.
But grape is really bad too. Well, I have been seeing some things, and there's quite a few things that I think we need to talk about. One, on my way over here, actually, first of all, like the day or two before we do our podcast, I feel like I have to sit down in bed. I'm like, okay, this is my job. Mm-hmm. I have to go on TikTok and scroll. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's an excuse to go on TikTok. Yeah. But I go on TikTok so I could figure out what's happening in the world right now. So I've been doing that. But on my way over here, I'm scrolling, just listening to TikToks. Mm-hmm. And I hear this one sound and I'm like, oh, what is this? And I look down. It was posted 14 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
Trisha's having another baby.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait.
She just announced.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not see anything. That's actually so shocking.
Yeah, and I was going to send it to you, but I was like, oh, I should wait for the podcast because I saw it literally driving over here.
That's so exciting. She does want to name, if she has a boy, she wants to name it Elvis. So yeah. I'm very intrigued since she already has a girl.
I don't think that they said the gender of it, but they said that it's due in May. So that's so exciting.
Wait, that's so exciting. So happy for her. Yeah. She's been wanting to have another baby. So
that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So another thing that I saw this morning was something about the scary chipmunk man.
Oh, you mean AKA Mr. Harry Styles?
Yes, Harry Styles. So someone was like, do you know why he shaved his head? They were saying that they think it's because he's going to be in White Lotus.
Wait, but how would that relate?
I don't know. I've never seen White Lotus, but they said something about somebody's name or something like that. And then that they were looking for, or they were casting for it.
Okay.
And then I was scrolling on my way here and I heard another thing about how Harry Styles is going to be in White Lotus.
So wait a minute. You haven't seen White Lotus?
No.
Because that show is really good.
Really?
I love like mystery, like Nancy Drew, or just kind of like, I don't know, it's really fun. And so basically it's a whole new cast every season and they go on vacation to somewhere. So the first season it was to Hawaii. The second season it was to Italy. Oh. And it's like these people are going to this hotel. So you get to see all of the lives of different types of people that go on vacation. So it'd be like a family of 4, like people who just got engaged, like all these different types of people. And every season there's a death and you see who dies in the first episode, like the first minute you see who dies. So the whole season you are trying to figure out who killed them, like how they died. And it's really fun. I really enjoyed it. So if he is in it, that would be so exciting.
Yeah, I did just cancel my HBO membership because I looked on, because I have it through like Prime, I think, like my Prime thing. But I realized that I've been paying for HBO Max and Stars for the past like 3 years.
What? I don't even know what Stars is.
I don't know, but I canceled it.
Okay.
But if Harry Styles is in it, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
The next thing that I saw, Emma Chamberlain came out with a video and I watched it, and I don't know, has it been confirmed that her and Role Model broke up? Like, I know that there were rumors, you know?
Yeah, I just saw a bunch of rumors, but I wasn't sure. I just assume when people, because especially it went on, what's that website or that thing where people write in anonymous tips?
Like Dumois?
Yes. I feel like anytime I've ever seen Dumois like come out with anything, it's always real.
Yeah.
Which obviously can't take everything for granted. Like, we don't know if it's real, but every time it's came out to be true. Like, remember when they said that Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner were supposedly dating back in Coachella?
Yeah.
And it came out to be true. So I just feel like it is true.
Yeah. So I was watching her video and she was hanging out with a couple of friends and they like went to dinner and then they went to a gas station. She was saying she wanted to go out or whatever. And she was saying, oh, I'm not feeling flirty. And I'm like, okay, flirty. Maybe she's just like personality type, you know, flirty. Mm-hmm. And the guys were like, you're flirty. Like, you're being flirty. They pull up to a gas station. Someone was like, oh, that guy's hot. And she was like, oh, he is kind of hot. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, you can say that someone's hot when you're in a relationship. And then they see another guy, or maybe it was the same guy. She goes, ooh, that guy's my type.
Oh.
And I was like, ugh.
Ooh,
I think they're broken up.
I
for
do
sure.
feel like it. I did see that clip when you were saying that. I brought it up. I, for some reason, thought it was from like years ago.
No, it was new.
Wow.
Like
okay.
a few days ago.
So I think that does confirm it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, confirmed. They're
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah, I think it is very confirmed.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. They were I love them together.
Yeah.
Because we do like role model. Emma Chamberlain was obviously one of my favorite YouTubers too. And I thought they were a perfect couple. So
Yeah, and I was also seeing something. I was watching some kind of interview thing last night, and she was talking about how Timothée Chalamet is
Yes.
like her crush.
yes.
And I was like, now Timothée Chalamet has to break up with Kylie Jenner so they can date, because that would be like, I could see it happening though.
Yes,
I could see Emma and Timothy
Yeah.
dating.
They're literally like the same person. Like, I don't know. I think they would look so good together too.
The last thing that I kind of have, it's kind of on a sadder note, but I just kind of want to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
The Taylor Swift concert in Brazil. One of the fans passed away. Very sad, but that's just like crazy that the heat was that bad.
Yeah.
And there's all those videos of Taylor Swift like gasping for air. Have you seen those?
Yes.
And like bright red.
Yes.
That is insane.
Yeah, it literally makes me so nervous. And that goes along with like what we're going to talk about today with our concert stories.
Yes.
But I've been having concert anxiety lately anytime we go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think it's along with everything, but even like the Travis Scott concert, like whenever there's crowds of people, it makes me feel so terrified to be pushed up against the barricade, to like not know my way out of exits and everything.
Yeah, I have a story
With that, yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. It's very sad.
Uh-huh.
And then one other thing to not make it sad anymore. Did you see the video of her heel breaking? Her heel broke and she pulled it off and threw it in the crowd. And she's standing and there's like the Barbie meme. Like, you know how like Barbie stands on her toes like that? She's literally like, she has one heel and then the other foot's just standing like that. And everyone's like, she's a real life Barbie.
Did you see? I assumed her heel broke because I saw this video. I saw a TikTok of the girl showing the heel. She was like, I got the heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
So
that's
funny.
so funny. Like, that's honestly just trash. Like, there's nothing really to do with it, but like, you are going to keep that like forever.
No, I would like pin it up on my wall or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Put it in a frame.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of all the news I have.
Yeah, I don't really have any new news besides I've been updating with Dancing with the Stars, and they have Taylor Swift week that comes out today when you guys are watching this yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
We thought it came out yesterday and we were hoping that we could watch it and talk about it.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking that Taylor Swift would have to be there, but she was in Brazil.
Yeah,
so.
she the week before they always announce what next week's gonna be. So they were like, next week's Taylor Swift night, whatever. Since she can't be with us, she has a message for us here, and then she did like a little video on the screen.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but I did see people talking about how apparently there's going to be some Easter eggs within this episode. So
maybe a Reputation drop. I've been seeing some more theories about Reputation dropping next Friday, but we will see.
Yeah,
I think she sees all of us like making up these theories, and she's like, "That's a good idea," but no.
Yeah,
we're all clowns. So I'm going to a concert tonight. I'm so excited. I'm going to go see Breakins.
Ooh,
you probably don't know who that is.
I don't, but
but I bought tickets a while ago for me and Jamie, and I also just got approved for a photo pass. So I'm really excited.
Oh, is this like your first time in a while?
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
So I'm excited, but since I'm going to a concert for the first time in a while and taking pictures, I've been thinking about a lot of concerts that I've been to, that you've been to, we've been to together. And we decided that it would be really fun to bring up all of our old concerts and some funny stories or scary stories or just concerts that we've been to. I feel like that'd be fun to talk about.
Yeah, we've been to so many. I actually, when I think of the amount of concerts that I've been to back in like high school or college, when you would do the like, say a fun fact about you when you're introducing yourself to the classroom, my fun fact would be I've been to over like 70 concerts. Like I would say that and then people would be like, whoa, you've been to that many? But like growing up, I used to go to so many.
Yeah, I don't know how many I've been to, but I would say like over 100 probably. But then that sounds like a lot. But I used to keep all of my tickets when they would do tickets. Now you can't even like print them out because they're all just like on your phone with the barcode. I used to print them out and hang them up on my wall. And then my sister's cat decided to take them all down. They all fell down behind my piano.
Aww. But speaking of these concert stories, I have one that I have been dreading to talk about. I mean, it's honestly really funny and go younger me, but also it just makes me like laugh, like cringe. So I guess let me just hop right into it. So back in the days, I was a really huge Cody Simpson fan. And he happened to be coming to my town, and the tickets were sold out. So I had to go. I had to figure out a way to make it to the concert. Under any means, I was going to figure this thing out. My heart's beating so fast right now. Okay, so the day of the concert comes. I remember my mom like picked me up from school, and she drove me over to the venue, and there was already a line of people like waiting outside. Because it was like a general admission venue. So it was like first come, first serve. You get there first, you stand like to the front, whatever. I remember there was a few people already in line, and I decided to wait in line with them. Even though I didn't have a ticket, I was just there to just see what happens. And I remember making friends with the people that were in line with me. And I was by myself. My mom dropped me off. She was fully aware of what I was doing, of this whole situation. I had this plan planned out. Do you remember what's happening?
I was there.
Okay.
But
you weren't physically with me at that time.
And
but,
I don't know if we were even really friends. I think we knew of each other. But like, yeah, that's so funny. I was there. Yeah. I was waiting in line with my ticket.
Yeah. Teddie had meet and greet tickets, and I had nothing. So I had this plan. Whenever my mom dropped me off, she was aware of this plan. So we were all good. I wasn't going to get in trouble with her. I remember talking to the people in line with me, and I was telling them our plan. This plan was we were going to ask the security guards if we can go use the restroom. We went with a few people, so it wasn't just one person, like me and another person, so it was obvious. I walked into the restroom, maybe with like 5 or 6 girls, and we all go to the bathroom. Thankfully, the security guard let us go in, which I was already surprised about, but I kind of was like, I really gotta go. So like, she let me go. About 5 or 6 of us go into the bathroom, we do our thing, and the 6 of us went in, but only 5 people came out because I decided to prop my little feet up on one of the bathroom toilet stalls and sit there for about like the next 3 or 4 hours until it was the meet and greet time.
Okay, but genius idea.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Literally. I remember sitting on the top of the toilet, like, you know how the toilets have like the little backing, I don't really know how to explain it, and putting my feet up on the actual seat, so if anybody walked in, they wouldn't see like feet underneath. And I didn't shut the door. I didn't lock the door. I had it propped open a little bit, so it looked like nobody was in there.
Did anybody walk in on you?
I did have some girls, which actually, this is really funny. If you were in the Cody Simpson fandom, like back in the day, I had my own like Twitter Cody account, and there was a bunch of other people, and there was specifically a group of girls that were like head of all of the people. Everybody wanted to be their friends. Like, they were the coolest ones. They were the ones that met Cody so many times. And specifically, I remember them coming in, and I was like, please don't see me. Like, I don't want them to catch me, and like, I'm going to be so weird or like uncool if they found me here. But I remember them coming in and like talking, and I knew it was them because they were saying their names. And I'm like, that is so funny that like, I just remember that. I don't remember where the story goes from this, but basically, like, I just remember texting somebody I knew to let me know when they were going in a meet and greet, because basically how this venue was you have the inside, and then you have the people waiting outside, and the line outside would walk inside passing the bathroom to go to the meet and greet line. And all these people for meet and greet had little like lanyards with the badges and everything saying like they got meet and greet, whatever. And I remember them texting me that they were walking, the line was passing, and I come out of the bathroom, just hopped in that line with everybody.
That is insane.
And we just followed the line, and I remember seeing you, I remember seeing like other people I know, and I specifically remember somebody's dad that was there, like obviously had to buy the ticket to go with his daughter, but he didn't really care to meet Cody. He gave me his lanyard. So I looked official. I was like in the line
That's
ready.
insane.
And so I got to take my meet and greet picture. It was my most favorite picture I've ever had with Cody in my entire life. We were like standing next to each other holding hands. It was so cute. But
such great memories.
But it just cringes me out thinking that I did that. I did steal, I guess, $150 ticket from Cody. So I'm so sorry. If you want me to pay you back now, I can. But
that's so funny.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of like, which I didn't really do that. I was just thinking of like wristbands. You know how usually there's like different colored wristbands and stuff? And I always thought that like people probably they buy like a wristband set, bring one of each color, and then like when they see what color it is, they put it on so they can get it. But that reminded me, I was taking pictures at the observatory once and they gave me 2 wristbands. So I wore one for the one that I was taking pictures at. And then we went to go, I don't know if you were there. I think you were. But okay, so we went to go see Billie Eilish and I was like, well, I have another wristband. So I brought my camera and I like walked in all confident. They like have to check your camera bag to make sure everything's fine in there and your wristband. And they were like, that's not the right wristband. And I was like, oh, well, that's what they gave me. And they were like, who'd you talk to? And I was like, the box office. And like, and I'm just making this up because I'm like, I want to go in and bring my camera, but I had tickets already. But I was like, I had an extra wristband from a time before, but they like change out the colors of the wristbands, but it says like the observatory on it, but it was like gold when it was supposed to be silver, something like that. But I just thought about that when you told me that, because that's so funny. Imagine if that worked. That would have been so cool.
People
but they were
definitely
like,
do that.
they're like, no, this isn't the right one. You have to go back up to the box office.
Yeah.
So then I walked like 10 minutes back to the car, put my camera away, and then I came back.
I also wanted to hop in to going back to that night with Cody Simpson too. So that show was the day before his birthday, and he happened to have a birthday show the next day in LA. And I was like, I have to go to his birthday show. And so after getting free meet and greets the day before by sneaking in, the next day, both me and my mother I remember we had normal tickets to his show. Like we were already going to the show, but we decided to go early again to wait in the meet and greet line just to see like what would happen. And I remember this and I will like appreciate it all the time. I remember being in the last bit of the line and Matt Graham, which was Cody Simpson's manager at the time, was getting all the people that had meet and greet to come in, and me and my mom were the last people in line, did not have meet and greet wristbands. And I remember seeing Matt with us with nothing, and I was like, I really want to meet Cody for his birthday. Like, I really want to see him. And I remember him giving like a double take, looking around, and he was like, okay, come on, let's go. And he let us
so
in
nice
for meet and greet. Like, it was honestly so appreciative. And I was like, the fact that I got to see him both days when he was my favorite person in the world, it was like amazing.
That really is insane.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
And I just remember following like all of his entourage. Like, I knew him by name, so maybe he was appreciative that I was like, Matt, like, can we please go in? Like, oh, it was just so cute.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of my first concerts, it wasn't my first concert, but I think it was like 2011, 2012. My sister and I would go to the observatory, and it's like right near us. So my parents would drop us off there to see The Neighborhood.
Oh.
And this was like when nobody knew who they were. And like me and my sister, we were their biggest fans. We would get there at 1:00. And that was like my favorite thing to do. I was like, I'm going to get front row. I'm going to see them super close. And my sister just like didn't really care. But that's just like one of my core memories of the observatory is getting there super early at 1:00, waiting in the beating sun all day long just to not get front row.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because like I would wait there so long, but there was always like not a huge line, but probably like 50 people before us. But I do remember there was one time that we got there pretty early. We were pretty close, but my sister didn't want to get up that close. And I was like, really? I'm like, how old? Like 13 at this time. And I'm like, really? Like, but I was in there and she was kind of like up on the side, but, and then I touched Jesse Rutherford's hand one time. But that was just like one little thing that I wanted to talk about. Cause I was like, that was like my childhood when I first started going to concerts, just waiting so long.
It is crazy how like, I remember, like when we were young or younger, I would need to be at the front. Like that's what I absolutely loved. And I really feel like since going to Coachella, my whole mindset has fully swapped. Like, I remember, I think the first times I would go to Coachella, we would squeeze our way through thousands of people to go to the front. But it's like, you can see them from miles away. Like, you can see
Yeah.
them far away. You can still enjoy it. And I feel like now I am more comfortable when I'm farther away.
Yeah.
Just for like the, I guess, also concert anxiety like factor.
Yeah.
So
I do get that, but for tonight we are going to the observatory, and they now make like fast lane tickets.
Oh.
So we bought our ticket. It was like $40 for each ticket, and then I think it was like an extra $10 for the fast lane ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And they let you go in like one door's open, but they put that line in first before the general admission.
Wow.
So we're planning on getting there at like 5 today, trying to get to the barricade.
Okay.
Because also, here's my mindset. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a photo pass when I bought these tickets. Mm-hmm. So I was going to bring in my little point shoot camera, take pictures as close as I can. But now that I do have a photo pass, it's not like, because Jamie still wants to be pretty close, mm-hmm. but it's not like I can go in the pit and I have to, or like in the front area where like we usually take pictures. And then I have to leave after the third song, but then I can't make my way back up to him.
Yeah.
So we're just going to try to get barricade, and I could take pictures for the first 3 songs from there and put my camera away for the rest and enjoy it.
Is it scary though, like holding your camera in a crowd of people, or do you kind of have like, do you bring a bag or something with it?
Yeah, I'm going to bring a bag. I got a new like camera bag. It's like a crossbody, like kind of like a cute one, but it is kind of scary. But that's why I also feel like if we are barricade, even though people push and you're gonna get squished up there, I feel like it might be a little bit better than being just like in the center of the crowd, standing there with my big bag and everything.
Yeah. I also think along with getting older, TMI everybody, I have to use the restroom like every 20 minutes. Even like if I were to stand in the front of the barricade, I'm gonna have to leave to go to the bathroom at some point.
Yeah.
And so that just reminds me, thinking of anytime I go to a Harry Styles concert, I have a song that is my pee song, because obviously you don't want to miss a song that you love.
Yeah.
I look at the set list and I'm like, which one do I want to miss? Watermelon Sugar. Okay. That one's next. I'm going to go run to the bathroom. I remember literally sitting in the stall and I was recording myself and you just hear Watermelon Sugar. Hi.
That's so funny.
That's my pee song. Anytime I go to a Harry Styles concert, that's when I go to the bathroom. Wow. So if anybody wants to come hang out with me, you know where I'll be.
Going off of that, like songs where you can leave. When I went to the Taylor Swift concert, I wanted to get merch so bad.
Yes.
But the line when I got there, and I got there maybe like an hour early, I think, but the line was so long. Like it like went back and forth like 10 times. And I was waiting by the exit and I was asking people, I was like, how long did you wait? They were like 3 hours. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
3 hours?
And they were like 3 hours and the line's bigger now. So I'm like, that sucks. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave. And as much as I want to see every single song, like as much as I love Love Story, I was like, I can miss it, you know? And the songs that I thought that people would like want to stay for, like Love Story.
Yeah.
Like I went out and there was 2 people right next to me, and then I was the third one in. So every time I left, I'd be like, excuse me, sorry. They probably thought that I was like what was she doing?
Yeah.
But I left for Love Story. The line was still pretty long, not as long, but it was still long. And then I left for a couple other songs. I left for 22. It was still long. And I was like, I'm like, come on, don't you guys want to see her? I'm like, let me get my merch. I ended up leaving in the very last song, like right when it started. And I literally there was no one in line. So I walked right up there and the girl was like, what do you want? What do you want? And I was like, and I had no time to prepare. Oh, wow. And I was like, I'll get this one. And then there was like a cute tie-dyed one. And I was like, I was choosing between that and like a beige one that said the Eras Tour with her whole poster on it. And she grabbed the tie-dyed one. And then I was like, and she's like, what? And she was like kind of rude about it. And I was like, sorry, I'm trying to decide. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I got these 2 shirts. I get home. I look at the tie-dye shirt and it was a muscle tee. And I was like, no.
That's unfortunate.
And it was like last minute where I was like, should I get that one? I should get that one. And then she was like, what? And I was like, never mind.
Also,
never
like
mind.
pressuring you to buy a $50, I don't know how much they are, but they're expensive for
and
t-shirts.
then it's like when you pay, there's like the tip option.
Yes.
I was like, I think I don't know. I might have left some. I think I left like $1 or $2 because I was like,
I find
I don't
that
know.
to be really funny. And now, like,
Yeah.
speaking of that, now they have like when you do like self-checkout at grocery stores, it will be like, I don't know if it's like, it's self-checkout at something.
Wow.
It'll be like, would you like to leave a tip? And they like look around for the video and they're like, tip myself? Like, what do you mean tip?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm a very big like advocate for like always tipping and everything, but I do get that there's like some things that don't really need to be tipped for.
Yeah.
Like we worked at a little pizza place and people would think that like, oh, it's takeout food, but especially working there, it's like, well, we do work for tips. Like we do need tips, but I feel like for something like that, it's like if it's a large order, leave $5-$10, you know,
Yeah.
like if it's something small, just leave $1.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hurt to leave $1 or 50 cents or something.
All right, spiraling in back to my Cody Simpson topic. I've been to so many of his concerts, so I'm so sorry. These are going to be literally all of his stories. Basically, he used to do a version of the One Less Lonely Girl that Justin Bieber would do, where he would bring up a girl on stage and he would sing to her, just like how Justin Bieber would bring up somebody and he would sing One Less Lonely Girl to her. Cody Simpson would sing Angel. This, as somebody who was a Cody Simpson fan, that was my dream, was to be brought up to be sung to him as he's singing like My Angel, and it was so angelic and so beautiful. And I remember this one time, me and my friends went, we all made t-shirts. I had a t-shirt saying, it said something like, I'm Cody's angel, or like Cody's angel, or something like that. And I was preparing. That was my goal for the night, was to get up on stage. And I remember it would be, I forgot now, but back in the day, he had a whole set list. You would know the song's gonna come up like next. You'd be prepared. And every concert, he would have his best friend, Harry Hudson, would go out and walk around the crowd, and he would pick the girl every concert. That was always the thing. And I was like, okay, I gotta find Harry. Like, I need him to see me. Like, I need to be the one to be picked this time. And this specific concert we went to was an LA show. I remember he said on stage, he was like, I have my 2 best mates out there. They're gonna come out and look for you. So we had Ryan Nassif looking, and we had Harry Hudson looking. And I was like, I need one of these people to find me. I see Ryan walking right behind me. And I had all my friends were like, Ryan, like her. Everyone was screaming for me. And he picked me. He was like, okay, come on, let's go. So as I'm getting picked by Ryan, Harry apparently is picking some other girl on the other side somewhere. I don't know. I'm walked backstage. I am seeing the stage from the side view. I'm getting chills right now. I'm seeing the stage from the side view, about to be walking up the stage, and I see this other chick get on the stage before me. And they were like, she's already been chosen. Like, you're good. And it was Ryan's like first time, because he doesn't normally do this. Harry is the one that chooses the girl. So like, I don't know if they had to work together, but Ryan was looking at me.
They should have just put 2 chairs up there.
Yes. Ryan was looking at me. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like crying. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know, like, whatever. He was like, meet me after the concert. Like, I'll make it up to you. Like, meet me after the concert or whatever. And
you're like, how am I supposed to meet you?
Yeah. And I remember being heartbroken.
Yeah.
And so all of our friends were all watching this girl get sung to by Cody. And I'm looking at her being like, that should have been me. Like, it was so heartbreaking. But the worst part, or honestly, the best part about this whole thing, which I don't wish the worst on people, if you were a fan back in the day, this was the girl that was blasted all over Tumblr and Twitter as the girl who was on her phone when Cody was singing to her. She literally was just like, as if she was texting, or was not even looking at him, was not giving him any attention. People were saying maybe she was filming him, but it was like this. It was so awkward. And whenever you see anyone like up on stage, when you see the One Less Lonely Girl, when you see Cody's Angel, they're in it. They're like embracing it. They're like enjoying the moment. They're watching it. Obviously, you want to get your videos, but like you have your friends to record you or whatever.
Definitely.
She was full-handedly like her phone in her face and not even paying attention. And there were so many memes all over Tumblr of people like blasting her photos, and was like, she didn't even care.
Wow.
And I'm like, that should have been me. I would have loved it.
I was supposed to go to that concert. I was supposed to go to that concert. I got tickets like months in advance. And it was like my freshman year of high school. I'm pretty sure. And I was on the cheer team. And that was the day that we were doing cheer photos. And I was crying to my mom. I was like, I really want to go see Cody Simpson. She's like, well, you're on the cheer. Like, you have to go take cheer pictures. And it wasn't going to work out. Like, I don't know what the timing was or something like that. But it wasn't going to work out. So I sold my tickets. And these girls that I sold them to, I don't really remember who they were, but I think we were like mutuals in high school or something. They texted me. And they said, thank you so much for the Cody Simpson tickets. Justin Bieber came out. And I cried.
Yes.
Because like Justin Bieber is like my everything. Especially at that age. Yeah. My eyes are watering right now. Yeah. They texted me. Thank you so much for the tickets. Yeah. Justin Bieber showed up.
I was there. I got to see it. I was crying because I couldn't get up on stage. But I do remember. I don't know if they had a collab song. I don't quite remember. But I remember they played something, or maybe it was Justin Bieber's song. And I was with Amanda at the time. She is the biggest Justin Bieber fan ever. And I remember her going wild, and we saw him come out, and I'm like wiping my tears away, and I'm like, Justin.
Yeah. That is insane.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me to one of my next concerts. I saw Justin Bieber, and it was when he had his Purpose release show at the Staples Center, and tickets were $18. Do you remember that?
Is insane.
I was at school, and they released it for that night. I'm pretty sure maybe like a couple days before. I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I need to go. I was like, they're $18. My eyes are watering right now again talking about this. My dad got me tickets. So thankful. He got me tickets, and I think that he got the $18 ones, but they were like kind of like up high. And I was like, okay, like at least I'm going to go see Justin Bieber. I'm looking on StubHub. There was row 2, and I think they were like $200 each. But that's like not bad, you know?
Yeah.
I sent them to my dad. I was like, Dad, look at this. And he bought I'm so lucky, so spoiled for that. But like, and I feel like I'm very lucky. My parents give me everything and anything I need. But like, that was like, I feel like my one moment where it was like, Dad, buy me Justin Bieber tickets. He bought me them. Dad, buy me these. And then we sold the other ones to somebody at my school. But I saw Justin Bieber's second row.
That's crazy.
And they were $18. Like on the ticket, it says $18 like plus fees or something like that. But I think we paid like $200 or something. But yeah, literally second row. I was speechless. Yeah. Crying the entire time. And he like came out and he sang some songs like all acoustic. And he like came out on a skateboard, did some tricks, and it was like a little square stage. So it was like he would walk all the way around and everything. I have a video of him literally staring into my soul. Yeah.
I do think now that you say it was a whole acoustic like concert, I was there. I don't know if he did multiple nights. I don't know if it was the same night.
I think it was one night, but he did like 3 different shows. Like there was like a 2:00 show, a 4:00, and like a 7, something like that.
I remember though where I was sitting, it was like up in like the middle section, whatever, but it was in the alleyway where he walks by to get to the show, like get to the stage. And I remember being in the barricade, and I was taking videos of him like walking by, and people were sticking their hands out to get like high fives, but I couldn't reach. But I remember like him walking by. So. Yeah, but that was second row is pretty insane.
Yeah, no, that was like one of my best concerts. I mean, just because it's Justin Bieber, but that was amazing.
And nowadays, thinking about $18.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm paying $350 for Harry Styles' top row.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
No, like Taylor Swift. Insane. I got super lucky with my Taylor Swift ticket. I told myself I will spend no more than $600 on a ticket, which is insane. But I was like, I will sit last row behind the stage, $600. Because I was like, this is history. Yeah. I have to. And like every day I would look and everything, and I don't know. And then my friend Ashley, she texted me and she was like, oh, my friend has a ticket, face value $250. And I was like, yes, I'm there.
$250, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And that's face value too, which is insane compared to 18. Yeah. But still, face value, I was like, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
And now you have people on StubHub that are like raising the prices crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get how they can legally do that.
But like the people that pay for it too, like that's insane.
Okay, I am going to share a story that has been pushed into the deepest part of my brain because I've not been wanting to think about it. for the longest time, full apologies in advance if you are the person and you are listening to this somehow right now. I think about this every night. This is like a nightly thing that I think about, and I like cringe and it hurts me to my core. I went to a hippie sabotage concert at the observatory that we keep talking about, the venue. But I remember we went with a group of 4 people, and I don't know, somehow we kind of split off. I think what it was that the 2 other people wanted to be in the front because people like mosh pit and kind of rage in the middle. And me and my friend Zoe wanted to kind of be up on the railing and kind of just watching from afar. And I remember seeing people would get like alcoholic drinks. We weren't of age at the time, so obviously I had nothing like in my hands. I remember seeing cups were left on the railings. Like some people apparently just left their drinks on the railings. And I remember walking up and I was like, this spot's open, like perfect. We got a good view. We stood in this spot, and I remember at the corner of my eye seeing a full cup of like beer or something just sitting on the railing. It's a little bit away from me. Like I'm kind of enjoying the concert. I'm like, whatever. Okay. But I noticed it in the corner of my eye. And I remember talking to my friend and we were enjoying the show. And all of a sudden I hear screaming, and these girls that were under the railing, like the first story, while we're standing at the second story, are looking up at me. And they're screaming at me. And I have no idea what's happening. I don't know what they're saying. We're kind of a little bit away. I remember the like guy was holding her, and they were looking up at me because I'm above them.
Yeah.
And they're freaking out at me, and she's crying. And I'm like, what's happening? I had no idea. I did not understand what was happening until I looked and I saw that full cup that was sitting right next to me was gone.
That's so bad.
So I had to conclude that a whole cup of beer got drenched all over her. And I think back to like now, and I'm like, I ruined her whole night.
Yeah.
Like she probably can never listen to Hippie Sabotage again. She can probably never go to a concert again because I ruined her whole entire night.
That's so funny, but it was an honest mistake.
It was a mistake. It just makes me feel so bad because I saw it. I could have possibly grabbed it and put it on the ground, but I'm like, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, like it's not yours.
I don't know what it is, but now I think about like, I'm going to get karma in the future. Like somebody's going to drench me with their drink eventually,
so
and I'm going to be like, this is my time. This is it. Like I deserve it.
That's a good one. Speaking of Hippie Sabotage, somehow, I can't remember how this happened, but we got free tickets.
Yeah, what?
And we went to this place in like Pomona, I think it was, or something. And you got up on stage.
Wait, what?
You and I think it was you and Kalina, or maybe you and Julia.
I do remember.
Yeah, you got up on stage. I have a video of you.
What?
Yeah,
I do remember. I remember at a certain song they would let people get up on stage.
they always let people get up.
So I remember at a certain time, like everybody getting pushed, and I remember like I'm trying to carry my body over this barricade and I couldn't do it, and people are shoving my butt to like get up there, and somehow I got up.
Yeah.
And we're all just dancing in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I like, you pulled that out of the deepest part of my brain. I forgot about that.
I know, that was pretty cool. I have a little story about Coachella.
Ooh.
I have like a couple, but I'm going to start with one because I think you might have another story. Okay. So we went to Coachella one year, and I love Billie Eilish. We wanted to go see Billie Eilish. She's like on one side of the festival, and we also wanted to see Juice WRLD, R.I.P.
Oh.
And which it just feels like it was like fate, like it was meant to be.
It really was.
Because I do really like Juice WRLD. At this point, I didn't listen to him that much, but I did really like him. And we met up with some of our friends. Yeah. They wanted to see Juice WRLD. Whatever it was, their set times, Juice WRLD and Billie Eilish, their set times overlapped. And I was like, I have to go see Billie Eilish. And it just kind of happened to where like we were having such a good time at Juice WRLD, and we just didn't want to leave. And the whole time I'm kind of like looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh, like, but then I was having a really good time at Juice WRLD. So then Juice WRLD ends, and we're like, okay, let's run to Billie Eilish. And we're like making our way over there. It was literally like on the complete opposite side. We're making our way over there. I think someone had to stop at the bathroom, and I'm like, come on, like we gotta go.
Probably me.
Probably. And we finally make it over to Billie Eilish. As we're walking up, she's starting. And that was when it was like really windy, and they were having problems starting their set. And in my head, I was like, that was just like fate. how we got to see the entire Juice WRLD set, and I think he passed away later that year. Yeah. And I think that it was just, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah.
But I just think that it was so cool that we got to see his entire set and we didn't even miss any of Billie Eilish's set. Okay. And my other Coachella story was the first year I went to Coachella, I literally only went to see Black Bear and The Neighborhood. We should have a Coachella episode, but I just had the worst time ever. It was so hot. It was like 120 degrees. Besides those sets, those were my favorite, but I tried to branch out, tried to listen to other things. And I had the worst time ever.
I remember that me and the person that we were with wanted to see Suicide Boys.
I was like, who? What is this?
I remember Teddie was like, get me out of here. Like, when could we leave?
But it was like it was in like one of the smaller areas and there were so many people and it was so hot. And I was just like, no, please no.
Speaking of Coachella, our favorite artist, Black Bear, he was playing at one of like the bigger stages. And I remember Post Malone was on after him, and at this time Post Malone was like he wasn't a headline, but he was one of like the top set lists. And I remember he was the last person to perform at this certain stage that we were at, so everyone was waiting for him. Like, I'm sure people were waiting there all day long for his set specifically, but we were there to see Black Bear. And I remember we pushed our way to the front, and we were kind of in the front-ish. And we were so excited to see Black Bear. And there were people all around us. Like, we were with our friend Zoe, who's very social, and she was talking to like everyone around us. And she's looking around and she's like, oh, you're going to see Black Bear? Like, what's your favorite song? And I remember the guy was like, I don't remember what he said.
He said, Do Re Mi.
Yeah, he said,
and that was like the biggest song at the time, or like the biggest Black Bear song.
Yeah, and I remember I was like, Zoe, these people aren't here for Black Bear. These people are here for Post Malone. And I remember we were the only people out of this huge crowd that were singing along to every song.
Like, it was amazing seeing him there, but it did kind of suck for that, because at a Black Bear concert or at any concert that you go to, everyone is going to see that person. At Coachella or something, people are there to see the next person or something like that.
Or like just have fun, just be there, not even knowing their music.
Yeah, so it was like we're all singing and people are probably staring at us like, whoa, these girls are crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're like huge Black Bear fans.
Yeah.
But that reminded me, I just saw a clip of somebody was interviewing like the Dancing with the Stars people. And someone interviewed Riley.
Oh, yeah.
Harry's partner, or like both of them. But they were asking everyone what their favorite Taylor Swift song is. And Riley said, Shake It Off. And all of the comments were like, really? Shake It Off? Like, you aren't a true fan? Which, like, I'm sure she is. She said that she really likes her. But, like, it is funny, like, just like the most popular song. Like, it's like, oh, okay.
But also, like, if anybody were to come to me on the street and be like, what's your favorite Harry Styles song? I'd be like, Watermelon Sugar. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, that a little side story. When me and Jamie first started talking, the way that we first started talking was we both posted our like Spotify Wrapped, and Breakins was on, like, he was my number one artist, the guy that we're seeing tonight, and he was like on Jamie's also. So we were working together. And I was like, you listen to Breakins? He was like, you listen to Breakins? And I was like, yeah, like, I love him. He was like, what's your favorite song then? And I was like, and I couldn't think of any songs. But I'm like, he's my number one on Spotify. Like, there's no there's no denying that. Like, you could see that right there. But I was like, and to this day, Jamie's like, you aren't a true fan. You don't know like your favorite song. I'm like, no, I was nervous talking to you. I also have a couple more Black Bear ones. There was one time we saw Black Bear. He had like a bunch of people like come out on stage. Like, it was like a fun concert and everything. And this guy comes out on stage and I'm like, who is that? I'm like, damn.
He's beautiful.
Who is that? And he's like, Machine Gun Kelly, everyone. And I'm like, that's Machine Gun Kelly? I was like, what? And I'm like, because I've heard of Machine Gun Kelly, I'm like, didn't think he was gonna look like that. But I was like, I'm sorry, what? And ever since then, I'm like, Machine Gun Kelly, I am your number one fan.
Yeah, like when you hear that name, you think of some like hard, like, he is
hardcore rapper, like,
hardcore rapper.
But like, you don't think of him. I don't know.
He's like a pretty boy face, but like he does have all these tattoos. But like, yeah, I remember, I think we became huge Machine Gun Kelly fans after that day.
Because I think they also sang their song Easy together. Or I don't know, or maybe I just heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my other Black Bear one, it was just kind of like a cute little moment. We got meet and greet tickets to see Black Bear. And this was like a couple days before we went to Europe. Oh, I can't wait for our Europe podcast episode. That's gonna be so good. Okay, but so we met Black Bear. And I don't know who went first, but like we could like see each other's reactions and everything. And I think I feel like I like don't even remember this, but he's like, "Oh, like what's your name?" And I'm like, "Teddie." And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm Bear." And it was so cute. And I was like, Teddy Bear. It was so cute.
I think my take, obviously, I had so much fun meeting him.
Yeah.
I think that was the time when it hit me that I'm like, I am paying $150 for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was like, you wait and we get in line and we're so excited. Like, all the people that are waiting in line are like, this is their moment. Like, they're so excited waiting for this moment. And you say hi, you take the picture, and you walk away. And then I'm like, that was it.
Yeah.
And like, nothing to do with him. This is for every meet and greet. And I always get hit with that like thought being like, that was it.
I will say I did. I also went to another meet and greet and I met Billie Eilish. And I feel like I do understand what you're saying where it is very fast, but there are so many people that they have to get through. But I feel like with Billie Eilish, like it was still fast, but it was like you gave your phone to her mom and her mom was like taking pictures. And it wasn't like how we got a professional picture.
Yeah.
And it was like you walk up and like you could talk to her and like the girl that I went with, they kind of talked for like maybe like 3 minutes or something. And then they took their picture. So it was a little bit more like personal.
Yeah.
But it was just like, but I do get that because it's like a few seconds and you're like, okay, nice to meet you, bye. But I feel like with Billie Eilish, it was really nice.
Yeah.
She complimented my hair and it was when I like really messed up my hair. I dyed my hair purple and it faded to blue and then it faded to green and it stained my hair green for like a year. But I met her and she was like, I love your hair. And I was like, thanks, but it's not supposed to be this way. She's like, no, I love it so much. And then literally it was like a week later, she came out with her hair and it was like a mint green, like how mine was.
Wait.
Do you remember that? And I was like,
gonna say that.
I was like, that's because of me.
Oh my gosh, she got some hair inspo from Teddie.
I feel like it just kind of depends. Like,
yeah.
Maybe Black Bear kind of just doesn't really, not that he doesn't care about his fans, but he's kind of just like, oh, like they get a picture and
but
move
also
on.
Speaking of, this isn't a concert, but when I did meet my all-time favorite anime voice actor in the entire world, I didn't know that we had to pay for anything. So I still got in line. And if you wanted a picture, if you wanted a signature, if you wanted a poster, you had to pay for these things. And I brought my Cat Noir action figure because I wanted him to sign it because this was Bryce Papenbrook, who is a voice actor of all the animes that you would watch. Meliodas on Seven Deadly Sins, Kirito on Sword Art Online, Inosuke on Demon Slayer, and Cat Noir on Miraculous. I remember, I think I paid like $200. I like paid for, it was $100 picture. It was like a $50 signature. It was something else. And that was hitting me. I was like, I'm going to have a second and it's not going to be meaningful paying all this.
Yeah.
I will say it was the most amazing experience in my entire life. He was like looking at me in like my eyes. He was giving me like Cat Noir lines. He was so amazing. And he was, I don't know, he was just really like talking to me. And I saw him talking to every single person that went through. The whole experience was amazing. And then I went over to the voice actor of Ladybug. And it was the same prices, $100 for a picture, $50 for a signature. And that, I love her so much, but that literally, hi, picture, bye. I walked away and I was like, I just wasted $150. Like,
and I feel like if you're charging that much, like it's one thing for a meet and greet where it's like a set price with the ticket to see the show. But if you're charging that much for a picture to meet them, like I feel like you have to make it worthwhile for your fans.
Yeah.
Like you want your fans to have a good experience, to want to come back or to want to like still be your fan, you know, like I'm sure you're still her fan.
Yeah.
But then you like have this different perspective of her now and you're like, oh, like she didn't really care about me.
Yeah. Like, and honestly, she could be feeling so, I also thought about it as Bryce's panel. He's like one of the most popular voice actors in anime. He had this huge table. He had a huge line. she had no line, which like she's obviously like she does do a lot of voice actors, but she is newer in the industry. And it honestly was me sitting next to her, giving the cashier my money, and then me going, hi, time for my picture. It was a very awkward situation. Yeah. And like I could see why that was awkward, but I still appreciate her. I'm still gonna love the show. Yeah. That's why there is the saying don't meet your idols, because you may feel a little cringy afterwards. But
honestly, I feel like I've never felt like, I know you've kind of been like, oh, I don't want to watch this or something because you feel like you're going to see them differently or something, but I feel like I've never really felt that way. That just brought up another memory of another Black Bear thing. But when we got to go see him at it was like the SoCal Honda soundstage, and he performed a few songs, but he also like sat down and did like a little interview. And he kept on saying like vibe or something. Or
he was on something.
He was like the vibes. Yeah. They were vibes. We're vibing. Yeah. Like it was like kind of.
They were like, tell me about like what is the idea of this new EP you're coming out with, or this new album. He's like, well, it's very vibey. Like it's all you listen to it and you get the vibes out of it, and like the vibes.
Yeah. And like anything he said, he was like the vibes, which like that was kind of like cringy, but I still feel like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm still like, I love him.
I will say, even though I've talked so much about Cody Simpson, I'm so sorry. To this day, I do have that cringe factor. I can't listen to his old music because it hits me deep in my core. I do love him. But my last story I will share with you about him. I got an Instagram DM from Cody Simpson HQ, which was like his official Instagram like company's account, and it said something along the lines, we are so grateful of you being a huge fan of Cody Simpson. We would love to invite you to the Twitter building for an intimate show. And I was like, first of all, I'm like, whoa, like, I'm getting invited to the Twitter building. Like, that is so cool. And then I'm like, intimate, like, how many people are we talking about here? Like, I just didn't know what to expect. Yeah. I also was like, why am I getting a random DM from like this account? Like, it was verified, but I'm like, is this real? Like, I didn't know. So I remember driving all the way over there. I went by myself. It was in LA. And I remember there was literally 5 people waiting outside. And I was like, are you guys here for like the intimate show? And they're like, yeah. They're like, I didn't know if this was real or fake. There was literally like 5 of us. That's so cool. And I remember them letting us in, and Cody was just there, and we all sat on the couch just like this. He sat in one chair right in front of us with a guitar, and he's just singing like a whole show. And we're sitting right here, and I'm just like having to be like,
that would be so awkward.
It was so awkward, and it was very amazing. I'm so grateful that I got to experience that with. And I do like still follow one of the girls that was there to this day, and like that's something we could like reminisce on. It was so, we both were like, that was something. But I do remember a cringe thing. I remember he just got a tattoo, like the very popular tattoos that people do where they have a heart on their shoulder, and it has like mom or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just think of SpongeBob like had that or something. He put a heart on his shoulder, and it was mum because he's Australian. And I remember grabbing his arm, and I was like, I love your tattoo. Like, I love how you put mum instead of mom. And like, I just cringe that I did that. I'm like, first of all, why am I touching him? Yeah. Like if that was me now, I would be like, absolutely not. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. But I remember I was just like, so awkward. But that whole situation was just like, I don't know. I just haven't listened to his music since.
Yeah, I get that though. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, I have a couple more stories. A couple of them are quick, but I just wanted to share them. I went to a concert all by myself once. It was the Maine. I like grew up listening to them like in high school, and I would always go to their concerts. Me and my sister would go, but I didn't really know anyone else, which now I know Ember always went to those. Yeah. So I decided to go to a concert by myself. It was right when me and my high school boyfriend, we broke up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this concert all by myself. I made friends with the people in line, and the concert was really good. But I look over and I see Sheena from Vanderpump Rules. And I grew up watching Vanderpump Rules with my mom, and I was like, I need to get a picture with her. So I asked this girl next to me, I'm like, can you take a picture? But the thing is, like, now we're friends with Sheena's little sister, Courtney. And if she sees this, okay, but I'm like, kind of embarrassed. But I asked this girl to take a picture of us, and I go up to her and I was like, me and my mom, we love you on Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my God.
And now, like, fast forward to today, I've taken pictures of Sheena twice now.
That's
But
so
she definitely
crazy.
doesn't know, but it's so funny, and I have the picture. But that's one little story of something that I've done by myself. Have you ever been to a concert by yourself?
I mean, besides the Cody Simpson one, I
Yeah,
went by myself, but
that's
then I got with like people afterwards.
Yeah.
So I guess not.
So another show that I went to was Lauv.
Okay.
And I don't know if we talked about this before.
How he gave you a photo pass.
Yes. So that show that I went to, which it was just so cool how I got that photo pass that day, drove up there and everything. It was at the Wiltern, and you have to take pictures from like behind the general admission, but somehow I just like walked past the security guard and went into general admission, and I took pictures the entire time. And so that night I was like, these pictures are amazing. It was like, I called my mom walking back to my car, and I was like, this was like the best concert I've ever taken pictures at. Like, it was so fun, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was on a high. I was like, oh, like, this is my life. And she's like, okay, like, I'll see you in an hour. Like, I'll see you when you get home.
Oh, no.
And I'm driving home, and it's like midnight, or maybe not midnight, but they like to do construction in LA on the freeways. Mm-hmm. And there was like a lane that was closing or something, and we come to a complete stop, and I'm coming around this like corner on the freeway, and I come to a complete stop. It wasn't like a hard stop, but I was like pressing on my brakes, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, no. And I'm holding on to my steering wheel, and I'm like, no. And I get rear-ended so hard.
Oh, no.
And then the car behind them rear ends them. But that just like reminded me, because it was such like a good concert. And then it was just like, and I was like bawling my eyes out. And then after that, I was like scared to drive for a while.
Yeah.
And it was like a whole big thing. My car was fine. I thought that the entire back of my car was going to be gone with how hard they hit me. Oh. But it was just like, it just looked like it was scratched up.
That honestly is my biggest fear, is whenever I'm driving, I'll look in my rearview mirror, like when I'm stopped, and I'm like, please stop.
Yeah. Like, honestly, driving's scary. So one of my scarier concerts, it was at the Observatory, and I saw Glaive. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I don't know who any of these people are.
But I was getting over a cold, and I was like pretty much better. This was last year, but I wore a mask there. And we got there early. We got there at like 5, and we got like a pretty good spot. We got through the opener, and it was so hot in there. I had my little fan and everything, had my mask on, and it was like 2 minutes before he came on. And Jamie loves him. He wanted to see him like in the mosh pit and everything. And I'm like, I'm getting lightheaded.
Oh no.
And I'm like, I'm sweating. My ears are like ringing, and I'm like, and I keep on like trying to get myself out of this. And I got some water, but I was like almost done with the water. And I was like, okay, it's fine. You're fine. Like, it's okay. And it was just like I knew that if I didn't leave right then, I would just like probably pass out or something. Yeah. So I looked at Jamie, and I was like, I have to get out of here. I think I'm going to pass out or throw up or something, but you stay here. Because I was like, I want him to enjoy the show. Yeah. He ended up leaving with me, but I like came out, and I sat down on the ground, and I was crying because right as we went out, he came on. Aww. And it was like, and I probably would have felt better when he came on or something, because it's just the sitting there or standing, waiting, anticipation, all of that. But I sat on the ground crying the entire time, because I was like, I ruined Jamie's concert. Aww. But like, it is scary though. Like when you feel that way, and there's so many people around you, and scary stuff. Like,
I would rather be safe and go get your fresh air than, because it could have been worse. You don't know. That also reminded me when we were at our Hippie Sabotage concert. I remember, since we got separated from our group of friends, I think you're at the same show.
Yeah.
I remember.
That was when I took pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember we were all separated, and I remember seeing one of our friends getting dragged out of the crowd from a security guard. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what? It just happened. Yeah. And I don't remember if we like went and found her afterwards, or if we like didn't meet up till after the show. Yeah. But she like apparently fainted, or she couldn't breathe, and she needed the security to help her out. And I'm like,
so scary.
It's so scary, like nowadays. And that's why I think, at least like with my age, not that I'm old, but I feel like I'm just very content just being in the background and kind of enjoying.
Okay. And my last story that I wanted to share, it's just kind of like a cute little, I don't know. So, we all know COVID happened, and then there weren't any concerts. So before COVID, the last concert I went to was Olivia O'Brien in February of 2020. So it was like right before they shut down. The next day, she canceled the rest of her tour. And I was like, wow, like at least we made it to this concert.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, COVID happens, no concerts. The first concert I go to out of COVID in August 2021 is Olivia O'Brien.
Wow.
And that's the one that I took pictures at.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like the first and last. And those pictures, like I said, are absolutely amazing. And that's so cool because the first one, you didn't have a photo pass.
No, yeah.
And then it's like you grew and then now you got to do a photo
I know.
pass.
I feel like that was like a good little concert to end on. We forgot to bring this up, but we wore our band tees today. I just got this one. It's Gracie Abrams, so I had to wear it.
I have this very old Fergie t-shirt that I used to wear as my sleep shirt when I was literally a little kid. But when I was little, it was literally a whole dress on me. And now it's like a normal size t-shirt. So it's so funny how I've kept it over all these years. But yeah, I think it's kind of fun.
It's cool though that you have something like from when you were a kid and you could wear it now too. So that is all for our concert stories, or fun and scary and I don't know, all in between stories.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this episode or any of our past episodes, we would very much appreciate it if you can give us a rating and review, because that will help get our podcast out there for others to see.
And also a like and comment on our YouTube. But yeah, definitely ratings and reviews on all podcast platforms.
Yes, and we also would love to hear like any feedback from anyone. If you want to message us on our podcast Instagram or TikToks, we would love to hear any feedback or ideas for like future podcast episodes you want to see. We love to get you involved into our show so we can all be into this all together.
Yeah, I think that's really fun. It's fun to have other people's ideas in here because we're gonna run out
eventually. Yeah, but we'll keep going as long as we have them rolling.
I hope it'll be like we'll be 80 years old. Be like, remember on our 4th podcast when we talked about our concerts? Well, that is it for this episode. We will see you all next week, and we are
the Quirky Cast. Bye.